Всем привет, с вами Yurnelo. Проходим игру Sherlock Holmes. Проверочка стрима. Проверочка стрима. Ну, вроде нормально. Ютубчик сразу запустился. Так, на чем мы остановились? Не помню.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours.
Письма возьмем. Минус письмо. Так, мне нужно подобрать, чтобы вырастить все. Ужасный день, не верил, что мы... А, это девочка-то, которую я спас. Ну, она убийца, конечно, но я говорил, я все объяснял в прошлом стриме. Не хотел я здесь, все-таки изверг с ней жил. Самооборона, можно сказать, была. Искренне ваш Мэри Брэкенстол. Ясно, понятно. Так, в Kew Gardens найдите похищенное растение. Еще одно письмо? Так, ну погнали. Kew Gardens. Это долго едет. Как бы игра не вылетела, не, нормально.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intending on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Да. Ушла королева. Чё, жизнь такая. Все рано или поздно уходим туда.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time.
О, вот он, шныра.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Все, я разгадал дело.
If you are here for a
Это вот
visit,
этот вот
please do come
шнырь.
back on Sunday.
Есть
I'm
похититель.
afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
О, шнырь
No
подслушивает.
doors were forced.
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one
Блин.
just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do.
Всю территорию шмонать.
Show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, He died here
2
just
дня
2 days
назад.
ago.
We're very sorry. We were not
Это
aware.
постанова
The two of
была.
you were good
Он
friends?
по-любому жив.
He
Так,
was my father.
подбородок.
Oh dear.
Все видите
Our
подбородок?
condolences. We should not be
Или
troubled.
он его
Please do
убил,
excuse us
директор
for
этого.
intrusion.
You say that he died
Или что-то
here,
еще.
in the large glass house.
Holmes,
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
Ну чё, Ватсон, что думаешь?
what should we do next, Holmes?
Да, ты как всегда бесполезен. Так, смотри, место, где мы. Смерть. Список растений.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Что записали 10 штук.
Do not touch.
The plants were here. All of them was stolen.
Так, это что такое?
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
Ага. Следы ног.
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
Бухой был. Там еще что там было?
The door was smashed at shoulder height.
Может, с ноги, откуда ты знаешь?
This door handle is new. It was recently changed. The esconson was breached near the handle.
Был взлом.
The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
Блин, ты что-то в последнее время стал много думать. Ватсон.
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
К чему бы это, да? Опа.
Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent.
Кусок камня. Улика.
This
Отпечатки
broken
пальцев снять.
fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Что же это значит? Какой-то сговор. Так, это... Так, ну зрение ведьмака нам, походу, больше не надо. Так, а вот это вот. О, козявка внизу. Навестись надо. Или нет? Ладно, в таком зрении походим. О,
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Типа камень отсюда упал. Я открою. Пусть проветривается. Картины. Картины нам не интересны. Кактусы. Кактусы тоже не интересны.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
Империя. Так.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Вот, и вот этой херней влажность добавляет, видно. Или тепло.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Blood.
Кровь.
Someone
Анализы.
fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
Sensible. Ну давай. О, какая-то новая технология. Чуть первый раз только вижу. Так, и что это? Ватсон, Ватсон, ну. Быть ты мудаком. 3. Смотреть серию. Офигенно я вижу эту серию. Что-то не то, походу. А, ну вот он выбил, да, он вышел отсюда. 1. Потом ты пошел дальше. И упал, и подох. 2. А, нет, не 2. Ты 2 у нас. 2. Ты 3. Вау. Алкашня идет. Идет. Бах, уронил хероту. Бах, пол, все. Откинулся. Мусорка.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident?
Наркота,
Or a
осуждаю.
murder, then, I wonder?
Наркоман. Так. Связь. Ловушка. Пока это выберем. Пока что мало улик. Провести аутопсию. Скотланд-Ярд. Это мы в полицейском участке сделаем. А пока надо еще улики подсобирать. Что тут? Дерево.
These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes, the Bible. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building. Water lily greenhouse.
Лилиями.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Давай, Шерлок. Заворачивай как надо. Тут где-нибудь что-нибудь.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Джентльмены. Блин, может не в ту сторону я пошел? Так.
Farmhouse.
Сейчас поговорим, если что, потом вернусь. Шмон надо. Так, прочитай что-то. Сейчас тебя просканирую. Твой подбородок. Недавно плакал. Размазня. Почему именно при бритье? Тут ты знаешь. Че по шмоткам? Чистые руки. Да, скромно. ТХ обрисовали челика.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then that is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Да, как-то мало пообщались. Пробежаться. Что какой-нибудь сникерс обронил. Экспертизу проведем и узнаем, кто его мацал. Недорогая оправа. Бомжара. Борода. Нет вопросов к бороде. Грязь. Грязный воротник. Ну, чумазый. Вообще грязный. Не женат. Это так важно? Руки садовник.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish.
Все, что ли?
Colonial Collection. Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory. Farmhouse.
Я не знаю, как-нибудь сохрани это.
Water lily greenhouse. Dry tropics. Seed house. Ventilation system.
Так. Вроде все. Хотя нет, сука. Что-то пропустил. Это что-то пропустил.
Reserve.
Веранда. Еще бы что-то, блин.
A map of Kew Gardens.
Объект интереса. Не до конца, потом что-то еще понадобится. Ладно.
Locked.
Locked. Че locked?
Nursery.
Они хотят, чтобы я расследовал, значит, мне надо все открыть. Так правильно будет. Вдруг они вон там спрятаны, эти все растения. Ух ты, блин, ну ничего себе. Я так и запутаюсь. Да, ну походу реально миссия большая. Надо назад сбегать. Или ладно, вперед пойду. А запомнить, чтобы потом вернуться. А. Все понял. Ну чё, Ватсон, что скажешь? Есть мыслишки? Опа, пожар. Где все остальные? Теплица. Ну, в теплице хранятся они. Блин. Зажмотили, конечно, разрабы. Сделать помещение. Locked.
Seed house.
Давай, Шерлок. Ну, здесь Ватсона его блокируют.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Так, пригодится.
A water tank.
Бак для воды. Ну, это не надо нам. Ну, я все еще придерживаюсь. Похитил шнырь, находится в теплице. Все, что украдено. Что-то глаза закрываются. Так, ну чё, кто тут чё ждет?
A protective mask.
Да блин, все равно что-то есть. А что есть?
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. A broom handle was half burned. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned. The remains of a picture frame.
Картину нафига? Взяли бы на Авито, слили лучше.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
В энциклопедии поищем. Чей герб. Так, еще что-то.
A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire?
Я
The
знаю,
door
откуда она.
handles to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Странно, странно.
Dry tropics.
Давай, Шерлок.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Какой-то еще клан, я не знаю. Решил вступить в игру в этом. Ну, типа, украл растения. Какие-нибудь там ихние были растения в каком-то там 2000 веке до нашей эры. Вот решили вернуть.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Да не, я все-таки думал, что это шнырь.
Water lily greenhouse.
Так, тут я был. И глаза пипец закрываются. Хорошо. Там был, тут закрыто. Это проверим.
Locked.
Locked. Ну тогда небольшая локация.
Locked.
Давай, давай, Шерлок, поворачивайся. Че, в полицейский участок делать анализы? Эмблема на точно горшках на виде. Две эмблемы надо узнать, искать в архиве, ну это понятно.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Ну, Ватсон, давай, ты же у нас врач-то.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Поработай хотя бы.
A beautiful feather pen. A membership card for the London Crest Club. This watch is of great value.
Но пока что мало данных.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
Блин, кндец, у меня глаза закрываются. Я, короче, помолчу, наверное.
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
Что-то меня развезло-то.
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
Ну, проверь, что там у него. Может, это девочка.
There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external
Не
examination
нацик.
so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
Татуировок нет. Руки.
Nothing suspicious here.
Что подозрительного?
No redness, stings, or bruises. Now,
Жена.
let us examine the internal organs.
Ну, ты еще не все органы внешние проверил.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
Хера себе он.
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
Профессионал.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
Опа! Как там? Тубик?
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by
яд.
toxins from an unknown plant.
А я уж подумал, туберкулезник.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Кишки не будем доставать.
Suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean...
Yes, it is murder.
We should inform Lestrade.
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
What?
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Шерлок кайфует. Работка завертелась. Все по связи. Сори. Зашмыканье.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Не, ну я полицейскому-то все-таки надо сказать, наверное.
Locked.
Locked. Ой, блин, жесть меня херачит, конечно. Меня вообще жесть меня мочит.
Locked.
А что все закрыто-то?
Mr. Holmes?
Надо в архивах покопаться. Я, скорее всего, не выдержу стрим на 2 часа. Что-то вообще меня рубит. Вообще мочит меня. Еще ж сидел до этого нормально. Старость, не радость, ребята.
This is where I keep my post.
Найти редкие растения ботаники. Найти эмблемы. Химия. Я это так...
That is not the one I need. That is not... That is... That...
В газетах искать. Энциклопедия.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
Ботаника, вот.
That is...
Угу.
Here it is.
Найти две эмблемы. Может, в истории где-то?
That is not...
Не. А, прочитать. А, вот, блин, размешка. Божественный. Так. Блин, я не играю, я терплю. Я терплю. Ну это не исследование, газета. Что газета? Это не то. Энциклопедия, искусство и архитектура. Экономика, технологии. История. Медицина, ботаника. Да блин, не то это все. Химия, ну нет. Криминалистика. Ненаборство. Знаки. Вот это, божественный синдикат. Нашел. Фанатики, понятно. Были фанатики.
Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here. That is not... Here it is.
Убийцу мистера Монте. Найти растение с помощью. Дофига дел. Такое дело. Так. Нифига себе.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, oh, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And?
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
Вот он.
Useless.
Шнырь.
I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
Нужен чел с ключами.
Locked.
Он где-то там был. А, вот он. Гони ключи, бич.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Вот он, шнырь этот.
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Ключи от двери гони.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Да мне похер, я Шерлок Холмс. Давай мне ключи все. Гардеробная. А вдруг там растения в своей гардеробной? А вдруг там ядовитые растения у кого-то? Чел. Я в тюрьму захотел, что ли? Не пойму. Это шнырь вот этот.
Have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
Я готов его приговорить.
I cannot say that I have.
Убийство, кража. 9 плюс 6, 15. Ну и плюс бонусом 1, 16.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. That my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Полегче стало.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Так. Неплохо, неплохо тут обставлено. Сейф. Скроем. Какой-то там вибрация должна быть. Что делать? В чем? Как он вообще открывается? А, ну-ка. То есть понял. По тупым звукам. Вот они остались понятыми, теперь назад, да? Ага. Ах ты, зараза. Ладно, обманула меня. Давай дальше. Сука. Сколько тут может быть? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Ну теперь точно. Вот. Теперь другая. 2, 2, 3, 3. Сейчас по 4 будет. Я тебя разгадал, сучка. Блин, полегче стало, смотри. Вот я пару секунд с закрытыми глазами посидел, сразу отпустила. Блин. 5, значит, там было. И там 5. Это, конечно, офигенный сейф. В скобочках нет. Любой не тупой его вскроет. Случай 14 июня 1989 года. Надо будет чекнуть. Что за случай? Опять 89. Это намек. Мне надо проверить. Жесть, синдикат.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
А, должница. Ну, могла и отработать. Пи. Что у нас тут? Связи нет. Связи нету. Фотография.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Лучшие друганами были.
Champagne.
Бухали?
Montague Dunn had good taste.
Не бухали.
French wine, a remarkable vintage.
Стол директора чуть не пропустил. не письма. А простил долг, что ли?
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Связи нет. И. Ага.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Опять глаза
Gold
закрываются.
dust. Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Ну, Ватсон просто бездарный, конечно. Но вот я не знаю, ну вот... Просто бездарь ходит со мной. Я бы ему ни хера ничего не платил бы.
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Конечно, всё правильно. Так. О, нифига себе. А это посложнее будет. Ого. Это вот так должна по-любому. Значит, пустота здесь. Или даже вот так. Вот так. Правильно. Ага, а это... Steam, откройся. Неплохо.
Open.
Open door. Ти. Так, на полу.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent.
Хорошо, я знаю такого. Тобби. Тобби порешает нам. О, блин, тут дофига всего.
Yes,
Чуть не пропустил все это. Цилиндр.
I don't hear anything.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
Ничего интересного, в общем, да? Или потом что-то я смогу еще послушать. Блин, дофига всего
A
тут.
sufficient quantity for some serious experiments. A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Как-то я додумался повернуть его.
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Да. Да, Ватсон, они опасных растений выращивают. Я не знаю. Конечно, удивляешь меня, Ватсон. Мозг так напрягаешь сильно. Еще что-то. Сапоги посмотреть или что?
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
Гениальность Ватсона, конечно, меня поражает.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Я думаю, тебе надо свалить с этого угла.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Miss White's locker. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Где-то мисс Уайт. Я еще ее даже не видел. Денег у него нет. Просит денежку у родителей. Не, ну родители все равно могли помочь. Не на панель же девчонки идти.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Да она-то не бедная.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Модница. Блин, много писем очень. Нереалистично, так не бывает. Прям куча писем везде. Еще одно письмо. Ага, связь. Больше нету связи.
Albert's locker.
Дочка Альберта.
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University. Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Ничего особенного. Еще одно письмо, я не знаю, у них у всех письма.
A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Короче, хотел на флот, на корабль куда-то. Его в сад, в ботанический отправил батя.
Martin Hamish's locker. Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
Еще письмо. Я вообще не запоминаю, кстати, кто еще есть шкафчик. Это Дан. Хэмиш. И все пока. Хэмиш. Хэмиш очкарик.
A review on rare and exotic plants.
Очкарик.
Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
А очкарик... Ой, очкарик этот. Молодой, короче, хотел на флот. На корабль.
Father and I, Kew Gardens.
Шнырь, короче. Альберт. Запомнил. Блядь, автор так и стоит тут. Чё, дверь открыта? Диплом.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
Крутой, крутой чел.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office. This poster, this certificate.
Насрать. Шляпа.
We can see the interior of the colonial collection room from this window.
А, кстати, да. Он мог отсюда, кстати, камень кинуть. Или что там? Что там было? Опа, само закрылось. Ну что, Ватсон, думаешь? Опа.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Отсюда он. Где-то Торота должно быть. Вот она.
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the colonial collection room is what they have in common. The seeds of plant species are stored here. Open.
Опа. А, сюда можно было зайти. Я, кстати. Понятно. Где-то девочка сидит.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Так, тут я был, походу. Не, тут отстойное окно. Это химиш, что ли? Рабочий стол.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
Тоже на корабль хотела.
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office.
А, это Альберт. А, ну понятно. Молодого.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Опа.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the colonial collection room.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Я даже еще не сканировал. Дорогие духи, чё по носу? Ничего. Опа! С бедной семьи, да ты что? Да может от растения руки покраснели. У меня от крапивы что-нибудь такое бывает. Кольца нету, да? А что ты делаешь в офисе этого молодого шныря? А? Что здесь
Yes,
забыла?
a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Инцидент.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Пока что, кстати, самое интересное место это про поезд было. Пока просто кругами, просто фармлю. Я вот чувствую, как я фармлю все. Все, что нашел, зафармил. Не чувствую путешествия, не чувствую синергии с миссией.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was
Ладно, я
cleared?
пока посплю, пусть они тут
No,
трепаются.
I have never been there.
Надо сил набраться.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
The Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh, yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Опа. Чувствую, в чем стало. Ну-ка, быстренько. Так, пропусков не было. Неактивно. Не, все нормально. Небольшой разрыв был стучен.
Kew Gardens is such an exciting place.
Да нет, херота какая-то. Век бы сюда не ходил. Ну что фигню подцепишь? Так. Что у нас там? Кстати, кого-то я пропустил. Ну ладно, насрать на него. Потом последняя миссия будет крайняя. Спросить. Искать в архиве. Спросить. Что, ну Тоби надо притащить будет. Погнали за Тоби. Потом поспрашиваем сразу всех. Сейчас Тоби порешает. А, еще надо в архив сгонять. 89-й. Ой, чихнул. Газеты. 86-й. А, 89-й.
That is not the... That is... That...
Я вот пропустил, конечно, все эти разговоры, я суть вообще не понял. Чё, почему,
Here
кто?
it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Куда-то дальше. Ну давайте с Тоби еще сгоняем.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Фэпсов не хватает. 48 фэпсов, 30-80. Игра 2014 года.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search.
Давай, Топич. Ага. Что там, Тоби?
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes, a tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Надо исследовать, да, наверное?
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite
Не
sure?
гонишь.
You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Флагстаты, Надежда, Альберт. Блин, я не помню. Чё намекал-то на корабль? Надежды, может, Альберта, я не помню.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Тобич, чё, все, можешь домой идти?
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
Бюст.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Сука. Бюст теплицы. Ну, я не знаю, или рабочее место. А нет, не рабочее место, Альберт.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew
Не
Gardens?
угадал.
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
Ботаники. Да блин! Семьи? Нет у меня. Вот не следил я за игрой. Ну давай.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Есть
Thank you,
мотив.
Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
Так, добавили связи. Все по одному почему-то. Так, что там у нас? Требуется анализ. Спросить. Спросить у кого-то еще, значит, надо будет. Бейкер-стрит, погнали. Исследуем. Дай топите. Обратно завезем домой.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens.
Сделано. Что дальше?
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes?
Ой, ты что делаешь?
It has a bitter taste.
Мудак.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
Да, бесполезный
What do
доктор.
you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Сперма. Шутка. А.
Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several... I need to take a pipette and...
Это не пипетка.
I need...
Где пипетка? Нет пипетки.
I need...
А, блин, я что нажимал? Выпей еще.
Red sediment. Just this mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Ну, это значит очкарик. Осуждаю не очкарика, бородач. Я не знаю, я не помню, как его зовут. На Х фамилия. Спросить, но это мы спросим сейчас. В божественном синдикате. Боже, храни королеву.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Какой-то якудза тут. Так, обшмонаем территорию. Надо было Тоби все-таки взять сюда.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The Kew Gardens symbol.
Перепутали. Горшки перепутали.
A fragment of a flower pot.
Так, с тобой я потом побазарю. Сейчас соберем улики.
Locked.
Ну ладно, пойдем побазарим.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself?
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Татуировка, да? Татуировка. И чё, что татуировка? Кислотный ожог. Угу.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Do you have friends
Честно
at
врет.
Kew Gardens?
None.
Ловлю его.
Not worthy there.
Эмблема Kew Gardens. Цветочные горшки. Да как нет? Ну там были... Это был правильный
Do you
ответ.
have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
На разбитом горшке. Эмблема Kew Gardens. Блин, ну значит эмблема просто на Kew Gardens. Ну вот, я же нашел эти горшки сраные.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Как? Сука.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there.
Цветочные горшки. Я забыл, что я уже выбирал. Эмблема Kew Gardens я выбирал?
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard.
Ну вот, это я и имел в
How could they
виду.
happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago. And we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet, you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Нашего господина Верховного Божества. Ну, наверное, вот этот вариант.
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Не было вариантов больше.
Good, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation, can you make one of these for me?
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Follow my path, and better you will feel.
Так, дверь он мне не открыл, да? А, не дал ключ. Связь, связь. Опа, а тут выбор. Ну, я верю ему почему-то. Так, еще один.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
Опа! Наркота осуждаю.
It is rather delicious and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
Осуждаю, я так и подумал. Я так и понял. Ватсон, блин, нихера себе ты включил свой мозг. Адепт.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god. The list of plant friends and benefactors, lawyers, well-known manufacturers, political leaders.
Охренеть, конечно, не палец. Что прокуратура потом скажет на это.
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
Ну, давай. Попытайся. Песик здесь. Песиков мы уважаем. О, а что влево-вправо? Так. Надо сначала с этими движущимися разобраться. Ты не двигаешься, надо, да? Угу. Вот так. Вот так. Так. Баня?
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
Осуждаю.
A vast amount of opium. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
Больше ничего нету.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
Не, это молодой был все-таки, это шнырь был. Хотел наркоту сделать и применить ее, за что я осуждаю. Малолетка, сразу видно, работа малолетки.
A tropical plant, nothing of interest. A tropical plant. These three plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Попку все сложил.
A tropical plant, nothing of interest. A tropical plant, nothing of interest. A tropical plant. A tropical.
Так. Поговорим.
Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
You came to make a donation? Glory to Tree One! Praise the grand tree.
Понятно.
Praise it!
Может, еще с ним можно поговорить.
Follow my path, and better you will fear.
Ну, пока так себе миссия. Я, конечно, уже в суть не вникал этой миссии. Ну, немножко проспал. Ну, такая себе уже вижу.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
Так. Выбрать действие, посмотреть.
This is a strange and unusual plant. A carnivorous plant. A prickly plant.
Ну, давай с этого начнем.
No reaction. It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed.
Ну, допустим, и что это мне дает?
My word. It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack. How interesting. What a strong and effective defensive mechanism. I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating.
Этому по боку. Так. Ну-ка ты иди нафиг, я, кажется, понял прикол.
This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
И чё? Вот чё вот мы? Чё мы добились? Чё от меня хотят-то, я не понял. А, открылась. Ну, открылась. Давай гусеницу положим.
This plant seems...
Не реагирует. Еще тебе налить?
No reaction. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. I am interested in what might occur if the prickly plant should shoot at it.
Ага. Я, покажись, понял.
It appears to open after being soaked.
Понятно.
My word.
Слабо. Надо это.
Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right
Камень
moment.
этот кинуть. Камень
Let
кинули.
us take
Или
our
что там кинули?
caterpillars to the colonial collection room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Ну, это из кабинета этого бородача был очкарик. Знание Альберта. Я нет, он, скорее всего, бородач. Знание White. Я не верю в синдикат в этот. Смертельно. На, поговори с ними сейчас. Я же нашел способ. Ой, не туда уехал. Не туда.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly, I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Так. Пошло время. Сейчас кто-нибудь, наверное, лоханется.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait.
Что-то мне не нравится, как ты отвечаешь.
And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Блин, наркоман, смотрите, у него глаза наркомана.
Yes.
Малолетка.
He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
Посмотрите на глаза наркомана.
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Наркоман.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again
Что
soon.
надо будет перечитать? А, сейчас девочку еще послушать. И найти косяк чей-то. О!
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Где наша дамочка-то?
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert to Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Опа.
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Я ж китайца еще не послушал. Ну, а как я не нашел? Я же нашел. Я же нашел-то. Сейчас китайцев сгоняем, потом я еще раз к растениям схожу. Стимулировать. Я их простимулировал. Ясно. 320 надо послушать, что сейчас будет на записи. 320.
My analysis table. It is useful for
Да
my
нет, я
work.
все сделал. ХЗ надо перечитывать мне. А, с самого начала было за сутью следить. Блин, вообще фэпсов не хватает. Ай. О! Открыто. Это же было закрыто.
Here it is.
А, вот открылось.
Cylinder records. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
Где 320-то? А. В руке был.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
У нас по связи. Кто? Сынок? Бородач? Зависть или девочка? Не знаю, сынок какой-то странный. И бородач был. Так, на уликах собранных. Ладно, пока стоп. Будем читать сначала. Сейчас в туалет схожу еще. Так, читаем. Не, начало-то. Или конец. Как быстро. Так. Ага. Начнем сначала с этого. С бородача. Что бородач говорит? В 9:30 они пошли к сыну. Чем мы знаем утром, когда все случилось? С мисс Уайт. Момент. В 10:30. Они пошли к сыну. 9:30, а потом он в 10:30 с девчонкой поговорил. А нет, он поговорил с ней, потом он начал документами заниматься. В 10:30 стало плохо. Хорошо. В 9:40, ага, все правильно. С сухими тропиками. То есть Хэмиш дал ему тропики сухие. В 10:10. Он ушел от нее в 10:10. Пока все правильно. Блин, что-то тут немножко не сходится. Она услышала крики в 10:40. Крики от мистера Хэмиша из большой оранжереи. А Хэмиш забежал в 10 часов. Около. Ну ладно. Блин, ну вроде все сходится, я не знаю. Ладно. Ну вот, допустим, один. Дальше что? Серия. А. Неправильно, это не один. То есть кто-то так расставил. Один. И может тут херово было. Ну вот, ну допустим, два. Смотреть серию.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
The smell is strong. It is a detergent.
Ну, блин, этот Холмс. У меня рты горит.
We have to activate the ventilation system.
Может, ты свалишь оттуда, я не знаю. Это у сынка там. И окно, кстати. А, окно у Хэмиша, блин. Хз. Он, наверное, видел через окно. что за Т? У меня все еще горит. А, наверное, в этом месте. Понятно, я понял, по этой идти. И кто-то сюда пошел. И включил.
The power is on. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
О, нихера себе. Холмс. Да Химиш, у него окно прям выводит на это место. Это бородач. Что-то. Ну чё?
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hamish's and Albert's space.
А, ну у Альберта включается. А вот у Химиша окно есть.
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Надо подумать еще в это время, кто бегал, кто это все мог сделать. У кого было окно? Надо подумать. Кто мог это бегать?
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Надо еще раз почитать. У кого было время, чтобы все это провернуть? Десять 40. То есть его где-то в 10:30 убили. Ну, начали бегать, это все действие делать. хотел З, короче. Сесть за стол. Он сидел за столом. Так. То есть, ты сидел за столом. Убийца должен был к тебе подбежать и извести эту хрень. Но это он должен быть. А иначе он бы видел бы, что убийца подошел и нажал рычаг рядом с ионным столом. Медленно бросился на поиски Альберта. Ты нажал, а потом пошел на поиски. Понятно. Это был Хэмиш. Ладно.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
Ну да, это он должен.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Так, ну-ка, что там? Так, стоп. Еще раз. Он должен был зайти не только у себя за столом, нажать рычаг, но и к этому пацану зайти. Кто к нему заходил, к пацану еще? И пацан ли заходил? Нет, он пацан не заходил к Хэмишу. Еще раз прочитаю. Вернулся сюда. Он нажал, значит, в твоем кабинете рычаг. Он ходил туда-сюда, понятно. Все-таки это он. Не, это он должен. Он же... Все на своих местах плюс-минус были. А этот бегал. Ладно, это он должен. Должен быть он. Сдернулся.
My God. Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
Так. Не понял. Что если его вздернули? Что если его вздернули? Где тело-то? Или сняли тело? А, вот оно тело.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Записка. Нога.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Не понял. Не понял. Не мог бежать со своей классы. Было бы ли ему время запереть дверь в комнату? Сообщник. Интересно. Походу он не один был. Ну, значит, был. А идет продолжение. Что тут на время надо, что ли? Пробежаться или что надо? Хера не понял. Что надо-то, Ватсон?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Без понятия. Давай, Холмс, блядь. Он не идет у меня. Смотрите, он не идет. Холмс, блядь. Я пошел. Ну, кривая игра. Через жопу сделана. Попробовать пробежаться. И потом еще дверь надо закрыть. Не, их двое было, действительно. Ведь надо же было еще дверь закрыть. Что делать так? Спектр надо.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements
О, блин,
so that
ничего
we may
себе.
recreate the events of that morning.
Так. Не, ну это уже интересно. Только надо понять, как тут что распределить. Так. Мартин Хэмиш и Монтега, да? Их вдвоем они были. Отправились на встречу с Альбертом. Павильон 7. Около 9:30. Девять 30. Или все, они все втроем, что ли, его убили? Я ничего не понял. Альберт встретил Монтегю, да, и Мартин Хэмиш в павильоне семян. Ну-ка. Что-то. Так, надо еще раз подумать. А, это не то. Так, это правильно. Это тоже правильно. Что там, до 10 когда убили Хэмера, потому что есть присоединиться к ним. Хэмиш побежал. 10:30. Так, вот эти пока непонятно. 4. 10:30. Ну, как Хэмиш, мисс Уайт 10:10. Так, вот эти 3 непонятные, значит. Ушли на задний двор. Когда они ушли? Это пока я не понимаю про задний двор. Надо почитать там. Что не говорили. Вот, и потом вернулся. Во сколько он вернулся? В 10:10. Хорошо. Это непонятно, но пока сюда поставлю. А это? Лаборатория 10:10. А это? Когда они ушли? Не знаю, наверное, первая самая. Давайте так проверим. Не подходит. Хорошо. Ну, давай сюда. Я просто это не понимаю. Ну, повезло семян, да. Дан возобновил инспекцию, вошел в комнату с сухими тропиками. Сухими тропиками в 9:40. Ну, все правильно. Хз, ёптать. Я не понимаю, но он все правильно же. Мартин Хэмиш вернулся в павильон семян в 9:40. 9:30. 10 минут спустя, 9:40. Дан возобновил инспекцию. Возобновил. И вошел в комнату с сухими тропиками. Сухими тропиками, да, в 9:40. Ну. А Хэмиш вернулся в павильон семян. Хэмиш вернулся в павильон семян вместе в 9:40, они оба. Хёрли от меня надо. Ну так давай. Сука. Я хуй знает. У меня как написано, так и сделал. Сори за мат. Нихера себе. А почему 9:50, если 10 минут спустя в 9:40, а не в 9:50? Какого хрена?
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Я так и не понял, кто это сделал. Ты же сам сказал, у обоих было время. Я хочу еще раз посмотреть этот фильм.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that Martin Hay, Albert, Miss White. Perfect, Watson.
Now,
let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
А какая разница, 10 или 20 минут? Это ничего не доказывает. Чел за 10 минут мог это сделать. Она могла за 20 минут. Оба могли сделать. Это не доказательство. 10 минут, 20 минут. Ну, у меня Уайт было время. Давай. Мне кажется, их тут трое, все они втроем завалили. Судить. Пизду фирму. Хз, я вообще не уверен. Уверен.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
А, сейчас тоже повешено.
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide, there is one final trace remaining. The deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her. Quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not
Сынок
seem
наркоман был,
surprised,
это
Miss White.
сынок был.
Well,
Это Альберт.
I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So
Маркоша,
please tell
скорее
me,
всего,
as
это
it is still
сделал.
unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Как она там?
Stop this foolishness. You
Жесткое
cannot truly
испытание.
want to die.
No, it's too late.
Как в Антилдонах. Да! Блять, я не успел. Я не успел. Блин, я не успел, дайте переиграть. Я хотел, но я не успел. Не, вот 3 часа ковыряюсь с этой миссией. Ну, проснулся, кстати, проснулся. Проснулся. Ё-моё, это мы где сейчас? Мисс Уайт. Давай. Я хочу, чтобы она призналась. Я хочу послушать, что она скажет. Кулите.
Mr. Holmes.
You do not. So, you. It. The. I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help.
Забыл, как в Антилдонах называется эта система, когда кнопку нажимаешь.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Аба! Лохушка.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Все. О, правильно, что ли? Да ладно. Правильно. Ну, как-то так получилось. 20 минут порешали. У нее было на 10 минут больше времени это сделать, закрыть дверь. Поэтому она убийца. Ну, это тупо немножко. А у того было 10, он не мог. Хотя тоже достаточно времени. Ладно. Не будем мозг парить.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
Крайняя серия. Вот крайняя миссия.
Holmes,
Ну, я не
we
читаю, я
have
потом
to
начну
help him.
заново. Так. Ну, на 7 игра идет. Конечно, геймплейна такая себе. Временами простая. Вот я 2 часа просто, скажем, дрочил все вот эти поиски. Ну, и причем просто протыкивая, просто по комнате пробежался кругом. Собрал, протыкал, там опросил. Я даже не слушал, что они толком говорили. Ну, на 7, блин. 7, может, с половиной. 6,5, 7. Ну, не выше 7 точно. Пока что. Посмотрим, какой финал будет. Ладно, на этом все. С вами был Юрнело. Всем пока.